We're recording this video because I think so far all the stuff we've put out has been either looking into our lives or looking into how we are at work. It's about time that we have a bit of like an introduction as to who we are as people.
Bit of sit down with you.
And yeah, tie it all in so that you can know the people behind the channel, seeing as it is a bit of like an overview of our entire lives.
Let's start with the true basics.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Oh, my name's Nicole. And you are?
I'm Tom. We are essentially Shared Spaces, a small boutique media company set up to film things like experiences, hospitality, and other brands.
Before this, I worked in banking. After graduating from Warwick, I went on a grad scheme and then just stayed in a UK bank for the last 3 years.
I didn't do university. Fell into an opportunity to be able to film stuff, taught myself using YouTube, and have been a video producer for the last 4 or 5 years for a luxury real estate YouTube channel.
Come full circle.
Yeah.
Learned from YouTube and now back on
University of YouTube. It's taught me everything on that.
Overall, I was in banking for 3 years. I did, I think, about 5 different roles, rotating between departments and trying out different things. I think that's the way most grad schemes work in the UK. And having done 5 roles, none of the 5 roles were sort of what I wanted to do. So I think that was a good sort of sign that banking might not be for me.
For me, it was the last 4 or 5 years working for the Luxury Home Show. I started off just filming and then sort of learned to edit while I was doing that. I then switched to sort of like doing some on-camera presenting stuff and then kind of back behind the camera to sort of produce and oversee the overall production of these videos. So it sort of gave me a bit of a building block of like what it feels like to be on camera, which I think is really important when you're working with people that are going to be speaking to a camera, but then also, you know, being behind it as well gives you that skill set. So it's quite a unique perspective, I think. A lot of people that either film or present only really tend to do one or the other. So I feel like it's given me quite a nice ability to like direct people from a perspective of like, I understand, you know? Because when someone's like, just relax, it's like, well, why don't you try it? So yeah.
Even though I didn't love it, banking did give me sort of everything on paper that you would want from any job. It has that like security, good career progression, good salary, good environment, good people, good benefits. It just wasn't really where I saw myself working long term.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, similar for me. Like, I love the job. I got some amazing opportunities being able to travel and see some amazing places, work with really cool people. It just wasn't mine. When you have that thing inside you of like, I want to own something, it did feel like a bit of a risk to sort of jump from what was definitely comfortable and a really cool job, not even just on paper, just in practice, but it just didn't tick the most important box for me. I don't think it was one conversation that sort of brought this into fruition. I think it was a combination of conversations. Thank you. A combination of conversations over a period of time, I think. In a relationship, you tend to open up to each other, and I think the crux of what was bothering us both lied in work.
And once you've identified that issue, then you know what the problem is, and it's only a matter of time until you find something to resolve it.
Or get depressed.
Exactly. So we went for the first option.
I think it's better.
I do think it's better.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
I think me quitting banking was a joke at first. It became a few like throwaway statements of like, should I just quit? And then we said it so often and the idea became less of a joke. And the idea of quitting brought me joy. And then it was just like, you know what, why don't I just quit? It's very easy to sit back and say, okay, I've gone to uni for 4 years to get a degree, to then work incredibly hard to get this interview and then to get off the grad scheme and to get a full-time role, and all the time you spent is essentially 7 years of your life to then get where you thought you wanted to be and be like, actually, I'm just going to leave.
The pursuit of academia is not something I've ever like really thrived or strived for. I think for me, starting this business definitely wasn't a joke. I think the natural progression of anything in like a service business, whether you're, you know, working as a nail tech or in a hair salon, or whether you're filming stuff like I was, the natural progression is you sort of build up your skills to a point where you can then sort of do the skills you're doing for someone else for yourself. And I think always in my head, that was an option, you know, to like, it's the classic decision of like, do I go freelance? Bit more risky, but have like personal license, or do you go salary, have the security, but kind of never feel truly in control? When you first mentioned kind of maybe I should just quit, it was like, wait, for real?
I don't think anyone is expecting it,
No,
apart from
I
maybe
think
my
as
dad.
soon as you were serious, yeah, to be fair, I think as soon as you were like serious about it, then it was kind of like, okay, let's see what we can do. I think the first version of what we had in mind for this business has definitely changed a little bit. Initially, when we started, my expertise lied in real estate, right, in like property. But I think part of what I used to film was so lifestyle based that we kind of pivoted more towards experiences, because I think it's easier to convey emotion and atmosphere when there are proper stories to tell rather than just things to show. So I think pivoting towards that has allowed us to sort of carve a bit of a niche. That classic thing of like, you know, I'm starting a business, I'm here to disrupt. Like I'm not trying to say that, but I do think it's important that you have your own kind of lane and area of expertise. And I think from a lot of the people that we've worked with, spoken to, the thing that they really do value is that, you know, we do capture that atmosphere more than just like, here's a shot list of the things we need to get, here it is.
It was probably 2 months
Yeah.
between talking about doing it and actually doing it. Part of that was just a build-up of both of us wanting this for a long time, and so being pretty ready to, when it seemed right, to just like go for it. And the other half of it was just needing to give notice on my part. I think I had a minimum notice period, and as soon as I was able to give it, I gave it. So it was 2 months, and if it could have been less, I think it would have been.
Yeah, and I guess that transition period for me was slightly different because I'm still able to film some of the stuff I used to with the Luxury Home Show, which is amazing. But I can sort of do this as well. It was just really figuring out how that was going to affect everyone else and planning with them so that it worked. And obviously they were amazingly helpful in letting it all happen. So
Best both worlds.
Exactly. Yeah, I think for me the scariest part of fully committing to it was going from being part of a team. Sort of my identity was very much like, I am a member of this team. I'm now gonna continue to work with this team and help this team, but like not actively be involved on a day-to-day basis and kind of go alone.
For me, the scariest part was probably telling people I cared about that I was leaving my job. When you tell people close to you that you're doing something, you're then sort of accountable for it.
It becomes real.
And it becomes real.
Yeah.
And so the second I told my parents, it was as if I'd quit my job. Because I told them and I wasn't going to go back on it. I almost felt like a weight off my shoulders though when I told everyone.
Yeah.
And it was almost like a trial run of actually doing it.
Yeah.
Also, what helped me make the decision was that I'm in a very lucky position that I live at home and I can live at home, that my family home is in London. Not having to think about, okay, next month's rent is due, and if I leave my job, well, if I don't make enough money next month, like what's going to happen? And because I had been working in corporate, I did have 3 years worth of savings. So it was a leap, but I think the only sort of loss was like potential money gained.
I've been working for a while, and naturally, you know, I think you can gather some savings during that time, but also I haven't stopped working with the business that I worked with before. I'm just doing some bits on freelance, and being able to continue that work definitely felt like a safety net, where it was like initially while we're getting started and we haven't got business yet, we haven't got paying clients, it was like, it's ticking over, you know, my rent is covered. So yeah, there was definitely a bit of a safety net in the form of still having work.
Week 1 looked a lot like a mess. Sort of just had my last day, and it's every single aspect of the business. It's the website, it's the Instagram, the domains, the business account, all the registrations on Company's House. It's absolutely everything. And on top of that, you have no portfolio, no business, nothing to post. And it's figuring out like your brand, your style, your logo, your absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And then you need that sort of, you need a baseline to reach out to people, to get work.
You're reaching out to people from a blank profile picture with a name. It's like, you just look like spam. So
and you're reaching out to people with a brand new domain that's getting flagged for spam and going into their spam box. And so, yeah.
Definitely some challenges there.
Yeah.
I think the first moment we knew that it was like, okay, this is actually going to work now, was naturally like the first paying client, right? When you first get that proof of like, we are worth this, that's a big turning point, you know? So I think that first Fallaway shoot was the turning point for me.
Yeah, and I think that completely changes how you feel sending pricing and sending examples over to people, because you've got one person to sort of validate what you sort of knew was true, and your confidence and your ability to sell just completely elevates.
Yeah.
Next, we're just going to be doing more of what we have been doing, just hopefully at a larger scale. So,
And in new locations.
yeah, approaching more clients in different locations, trying to factor in some travel into it and see some things while we're there. Maybe do some exchanges for like complimentary stays to actually enjoy the places we go to.
Yeah.
We don't want it to end up being like musicians on worldwide tours where they go to all the cities and never get to experience them.
Yeah.
We want to, through this YouTube channel as well, document that journey and our enjoyment of the places.
I think that's it. More of this YouTube channel, I think, is definitely like what's next for us too. We really want this to be able to be something that allows us to document the process over the next few years or however long, and you know, allow us to travel along with it, like you say.
I think that sort of takes us full circle here, where this is sort of the reason why we're doing this video, is to introduce us, to sort of let you know what we've been up to, who we are as people, what we're going to be doing, and what we're going to be using this YouTube channel for, and also just documenting our journey and any tips and tricks we have along the way. So if you are a business owner and doing something similar or just interested,
give us a shout. We want to make friends.
Yeah, well, we want to hear from you, because I think YouTube is a social channel. You know, it's easy to remember that when you're on Snapchat or when you're on Instagram, but everyone forgets that YouTube is just another one of those social media channels. So engage with us, talk to us, ask us questions, and we'll answer them.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. Okay, till next time, guys.